4 years, 321 videos, 2,300 plus subscribers. Thank you to every single one of you. You mean the world to me. And a new tag. So I'm celebrating 4 years on Booktube by doing an original tag I've just created called The Evolution of a Booktuber. And this is where you would cue the title music, but I don't do that anymore. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, the teacher sharing my reading adventures and art experiments in order to spread the joy of books and reading as far and wide as possible. I share thoughts on books I've read alongside occasional amateur art experiments, which will hopefully give you something nice to look at while I talk and perhaps even inspire you to try some art experiments of your own. I'm Jack, this is Red Bookjoy, and I am celebrating 4 years on Booktube, and I'm celebrating it by doing an original tag that I thought about recently quite a bit because I've been wondering what to do for my Booktube anniversary birthday celebration. And so I was looking back a lot at Booktube and thinking about it and reflecting, and I thought, gosh, there's a lot of things that I don't do anymore that I used to do. And I know we do an awful lot of there's a lot of tags out there where you can discuss your booktubing habits and how your channel has changed and what have you. And I kind of thought, well, I don't really talk about what I don't do anymore. So that kind of led me down this whole idea of evolution. And I was reading a book about where evolution featured heavily. So I was thinking, you know what? I did an evolution of a reader tag a few years ago, so what more natural than the evolution of a booktuber? So I'm going to talk about my evolution as a booktuber, and I invite you to do the same if you are a booktuber. If you're not a booktuber but you have a YouTube channel, these prompts would work for you as well. You don't need to use my prompts. There are only 3 prompts, 1 word each, and a bonus prompt. I'm going to share my interpretation of them and the words down in the description box, and the words are all linked to evolution. There are no restrictions on whether you have a Booktube channel or a YouTube channel, whether you have been doing it for 6 years, 10 years, 4 months, 1 month, if you feel you've evolved within 1 month. And I think when you're doing it, you're learning so much, you're kind of rapidly evolving as a booktuber or as a YouTuber. I'm going to continue to refer to booktubers rather than YouTubers, even though I do invite you, if you watch me and you have got a channel but you're not a booktuber, if you want to do it, go ahead. I do invite you to do that, and please tag me so I can come and watch you. But I'm going to refer to booktubers from now on just because that's the focus of my channel and the name of the tag. I'm also going to say that you can interpret this any way you like. You can just talk about your evolution. You don't need to use my prompts. You don't need to use my interpretation of the prompts either, but this is just how I'm going to do it. I'm hoping it's going to be a bit of fun and a bit of a look back over how things have changed, not just my channel, but how I've changed as a result of my channel. Also going to do some clips. I'm still at this stage unsure whether I'm going to do a little clips ending or I'm going to intersperse with clips, but we'll see as we go. Some of the answers that I've got for these prompts, I have explored these things in other videos in more depth. So if I start talking about something, you think, hey, Jack, you haven't told us enough about that. That's because I don't want to make this video too super long, and I do have more in-depth videos where I've talked about some of these things, and I will link them all in the description box. So one of my worst things to do is description boxes, so I'm setting myself up for a huge amount of work here, but I think it's going to be all worth it in the end. So without further ado, and I've got a big list of things to talk about, let's get into it. Prompt number 1, extinction. So things that I no longer do on my channel. You've already seen one of them. I no longer have a title sequence with music, and I had a long one to start with, and I used to do beautiful ones for individual books as well. So it wasn't just like a title sequence that I put on every video. I did individual book title sequences because I had an Instagram, and I'll link a video about why I don't do that anymore. And I had these beautiful photographs that I would do these panning shots of, and yeah, it was all very nice. And I'm still, if I had the time and Booktube was the only thing I did, I would do that. But it's not the only thing I do, and therefore it was an extra step that I just felt was sometimes these extra steps become barriers to you doing things. So when you know you've got X amount of steps, you're like, I don't want to do that today. So I took that step out. I also took out doodling on my thumbnails, and that's a very recent thing that I stopped doing. I was kind of toying around with not doing it for a while. It's just an extra step. I make the thumbnail in Canva, I download the picture, I upload it to Procreate on my iPad, I doodle on it, I download it, I upload it. Too many steps. So just download it from Canva, upload it to YouTube, job done. I may go back to these things because I like them, and if I had the time for them, I would do them. Just for the moment, they're not happening. The other thing I used to do a lot, scripting. I used to script everything. Probably would have saved me editing. Actually, no, it didn't, because I used to do really great, loads of B-roll footage, all of that. These are things that I kind of wish I had time to do. I don't wish I had time to script. I'm never going to go back to scripting. I say never. Never say never about these things, right? Because it's a continual evolution. I might go back to some things. But scripting is one thing that made it really feel like work. Like work. So if I had to sit down and write a script and then do it, if I did that every time, there are booktubers out there. And by the way, I have to caveat everything that I don't do anymore. Lots of people still do and do very successfully. This is just me. This is just things that work for me. There are plenty of people out there who script everything and they have brilliant videos and they're so articulate and they say amazing things. And this is not me. I am now the sort of person who, I make notes. I do prepare, I do research, and I do prepare and I make notes, but I don't script, because if I had to write a script for everything, I would literally never make a video. So yeah, a lot of these things are kind of taking away barriers to me making videos. I stopped scripting. There are things I'm about to talk about are the things that I think have made the biggest difference to me in my evolution and my enjoyment of Booktube, and I've stopped doing these things for a while. And I talked about this in more depth in a video, which I will link down below, where I talked about at the beginning of this year, 2024, why Booktube was kind of stressing me out and not working for me as much. And within that, I kind of talked about the fact that I was doing certain types of videos, and I'm going to say they are TBRs, wrap-ups and hauls, and I love watching all of those videos. So when people make them, I love watching them, and I enjoyed making them because, and don't get me wrong, because some people put a lot of work into their TBRs, wrap-ups and haul videos. I didn't. I would make those videos because, one, I felt like I had to talk about everything I read, and I don't want to do that anymore because that stressed me out, because it felt like I had a microscope on my reading. So I stopped doing haul videos because, of course, my TBR, my To Be Read shelf, my To Be Read pile is actually giant. It's officially a giant bookshelf, which my friend Alice, we did discuss it, and actually I have an official giant TBR, but I don't talk about my numbers, because if I started thinking about all the unread books as if I have to read them all, and think about them in that way rather than thinking about them as a selection of books that I have to choose from, because how lucky am I? I look at my own reading library, I've got loads of books I can choose from. I'd rather think about it that way than think about it as a To Be Read shelf. There's a big pile of possibilities, and I've stopped counting how many unread books I have, and I've stopped thinking about it in that way because it was just really getting me down and stressing me out. And part of that was sharing all the books that I bought on here, because I would buy all these books and then there's kind of almost an expectation when I share things on here that I will read them. Everything that I read I don't want to talk about because I don't like everything that I read. I think some books that I read are very average. I didn't start a Booktube channel to talk about everything I read. I started it to recommend good books, and I don't want to talk about everything I read anymore. I might go back to that. Again, never say never. But yeah, for the moment, it's been good for me to not tell you everything that I'm reading, because it feels so much less pressure on me to read certain things that I bought, to, you know, all of that. So I don't have wrap-up videos anymore, and for a while I kind of stopped doing monthly wrap-ups because they were getting in the way of me making other videos, because I'd get to sort of the end of the month, I think, oh my gosh, I haven't done a monthly wrap-up, I've got to do that next week, I've got to film that, even though I wanted to do this video, I'm gonna have to do a wrap-up video. And then I started going, no, you don't have to do those things. So for a while I was doing wrap-ups in the form of what I called reading rambles. I've stopped those as well because, and I tell you why, it makes me a lazy booktuber. I've got videos I want to make and original kind of content I want to produce and things I want to talk about, and I want to do individual book reviews, and I was stopping that because it was easier to just switch on the camera, look on my Goodreads and see what I've been reading that month and just talk about each book very minimally. And so I don't want to do that anymore. So I might go back to it, I might. Again, never say never, but for the moment I feel much happier because I'm producing content that I feel is better, that it's more, it's got more longevity as well, because of course, like, review videos are like evergreen, you know, they might start off small, like my review for The Skull by John Classen has become a bigger video now, even though when I released it had like 60 views, and now it's over 1,000, I don't know how many, but it's one of my biggest videos on the channel that continually gets views, and I'm expecting more views as October is coming up. So yeah, so one, because those things are evergreen, and TBRs, wrap-ups and book hauls are really not. But TBRs I've stopped a long time ago. I do piles of possibilities for readathons and events because I love lists. I love making a list of books. Who doesn't? It's kind of like window shopping. It's like, oh, who doesn't love getting a topic and then thinking about the possibilities out there to read? That's fun, and I love that. I don't do them as much as videos anymore. That doesn't mean I won't. TBRs stress me out. Having a list of assigned reading and things I need to read stresses me out. So yeah, I stopped all of that. I stopped it, I kind of, not TBRs as such, but you know, I don't do them as often. But wrap-ups I've definitely stopped. Talking about everything I read I've definitely stopped. Doing book hauls or talking about every book I buy, I've stopped. Doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about books I buy in the future, just means for the moment. The wrap-ups and everything else was stressful because talking about stats and numbers was stressful. So yeah, I no longer set reading goals for myself in terms of numerical reading goals or any other kind of reading goal actually, because I find then I will invariably not do them because I'm a mood reader, and then when I feel like I've got assigned reading I don't want to do it. The numbers thing was really unhealthy for me, and if I've got a video on this, I think I do, I'll put a link in the description box where I've talked about it. But it is I find very detrimental to me because I was focusing more on the amount I was reading than what I was reading. And since I've stopped doing that, I am so much happier. I don't think I could tell you how many books I've read this year with any certainty. I do count them, like I do have them on Goodreads being counted. So I could say my reading challenge at the end of the year will tell me how many I've read, but I have no focus. I set a goal of one book on there because I do like to set a reading goal on Goodreads. I've done it for years and years and years, and I like getting the stats. Though someone recently told me you don't need to set a goal to get the stats. So who knew? But I do track what I've read because I've got a terrible memory. I want to know what I read and when I read it. I don't need to know numbers. I don't need to know, I don't need that monthly panic or failure over a goal that I've set for the year that I'm not reaching. And I don't need to think that a good reading month is reading 12 books as opposed to a month where I read 3. Whereas I might have read a book that I completely fell in love with when I read 3 books, and I might have read 12 average books. So yeah, I've stopped that. With regards to all of this, it's kind of like mental health things for me, and it's made me a lot happier and made it a lot more enjoyable for me. But I know people who really find that structure much more comforting. I don't. I'm also not scheduling, and unless I try and put out one video a week, and if I manage that, great. If I put out more, great. If I don't stick to a day, because who really knows what day you're uploading apart from the algorithm? And I do know all of this sort of YouTube advice is you should have a schedule and you should stick to your schedule, and then that will make the algorithm like you and you'll be fine. You'll get all these, you'll grow. I don't care. I also, I would care if people were waiting and saying to me, oh Jack, I thought you published on Saturdays. No one cares. Like, it's the same with me. I've got YouTubers I watch regularly, and there's some I watch on particular days because I know they put out like a Friday reads. That's what they do. Like, I know that Lindy puts out her videos, Lindy from Lindy's Magpie Reads, who I love, puts out her videos on Friday, and I like listening to Lindy on a Saturday morning with my coffee. That is like relaxation for me. So I know that one, but everyone else, put them out whenever, because I just watch them when I have the time to watch them. I don't sit there going, oh, Thursday, better watch X, Y, and Z's videos on Thursdays. No one does that. So because I don't do that, I'm like, who does that? No one. So I don't schedule. One video per week is my aim. Any more than that, great. Any less than that, I don't beat myself up. Oh, in terms of watching, there's some things I don't do anymore. I'm no longer a lurker. I used to watch and not comment. Now I always comment. If I watch someone, I comment. And even but I try not to, what I'm trying not to do, I'm trying not to do long comments for everybody, because sometimes I watch and I'm listening while I'm making dinner or something, and I want to listen and watch more videos and give people the watch hours. I'd rather watch someone's full video and pay attention to it and take in the information and leave a minimal comment or an emoji than decide I can't watch it now because I haven't got time to comment, which is what I was doing. So I've changed that, and I try not to subscribe to every new channel. This is something that I discovered, and if I can find the information, I'll link it in the description box below. But I discovered that if you subscribe to a channel and don't watch it, that's detrimental to the channel and the algorithm. So if you've got channels that you were like, oh, that newbie, I'll subscribe to them, and I did that tons. and then you never watch them again, apparently it's bad for them. I'm going to find the information where I saw that, because it's like, maybe I dreamed it. But I'm going to try it from now on. If someone's new, I'm going to comment and welcome them. I'll watch a few of their videos, and then if I feel that I will subscribe. What I also don't do anymore is I don't watch everybody's videos anymore all the time. I have a number of people that I watch all the time without fail, who I've got notifications turned on for, and I will watch them. And I don't beat myself up if I can't watch everybody's video. And the other people that I love watching regularly, that I don't see every video of, that's fine, because I also know not everybody watches all of my videos, and I'm okay with that, because there are so many videos, and I want to make videos, and I want to read books. So anyway, so that's, as a watcher, how I've kind of, the things I don't do anymore. Yeah, so the other thing I don't do art projects anymore. I used to do lots of art, I really did, and that was because I didn't want to show my face. Prompt number 2, adaptation. I'm going to talk about adaptation because I just mentioned I used to do loads of art videos, but that's because I never used to show my face. My hands were my most famous thing on this channel for about 4 months. Yeah, so I used to have this setup where I'd film top down, and I was like, can't just film the book cover for 20 minutes. I know, I'll do some art, because I like arts and crafts, and also it kind of was giving me a reason to do some arts and crafts, like a project. So I would do some arts and crafts based on the book. Yeah, so adaptation is something I never thought I would do. I show my face. I show my face on here. Initially it was a bit weird. Another adaptation I've made is, I don't think I'm awkward anymore. Did you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Challenges. Finding the time, making sure you do it regularly. My biggest challenge for the first few months was actually being on camera, which took me a while. I've only done a few videos on camera, and I don't particularly like them, but I do think it's important to connect with people. So that was my biggest challenge. I do think I'm not quite happy about the idea of someone trolling me or making horrible comments. So I don't like that. But yeah, given that probably hardly anyone's watching my videos, that's not really an issue at the moment. I mean, how awkward was I in that first video? I did think about doing a reaction to my first video, a video of me reacting to my first video. If you like that, maybe mention it in the comments, because I'll do it as a separate video if so. But yeah, I looked really awkward. I don't think I'm any awkward anymore, at least I hope I'm not. I feel a lot more natural, because back then, I think part of it was I was talking to my camera and no one was listening to me, or at least I didn't know anyone was listening to me, because my videos had very small views, I had very few subscribers, I had hardly anyone commenting, and so I started to feel like a bit of an idiot talking to my camera. But now I know, when I talk to it, I know there are people watching me, so it makes it a little bit easier, I think. And also you just get more experienced at it, don't you? So things that I do now that I never thought I'd do: YouTube Shorts. Got a whole playlist of middle grade recommendations. I did 30 middle grade books in 30 days, 30 picture books in 30 days. Shorts are great for little small projects like that. Live streams. I never ever thought I would do a live stream. I remember my first live stream was with, I think it was with Alice and Gemma, and I was just like, I can't do a live stream. Now I love them. They're so fun. They're just so fun, because you're getting live interaction with the audience. So you've got the comments coming in, and you can talk to people in the comments, and you can talk to your friends. It's just so fun. I love them. I love live streams. More live streams are coming this way, I think. Meeting people in real life. Oh my gosh.
I'm not making feel good about it Jack. What are you doing? They're like, when you're putting them down now, how sorting and he's like, I've already got one. I've already got one.
I told him I've got one.
And the fact that they're just like flipping around with the fella following with the coconut. I can't even just tell you the joy that meeting people in real life has brought me, but it's something I never thought I would do. I'm from a generation where all the people I know I met in real life. I've never met people online before for anything, dating, anything. I'm not that generation. So to finally meet up with everyone and really discover how connected we are and how real these friendships are, yeah, there's nothing quite like it. Been amazing. But yeah, something I never thought I would do. Never thought I'd do any social reading. Buddy reading, group reads, I run a book club. I run the FOMO book club, in case you're wondering, with my friend Gemma. We set it up with our beautiful, wonderful friend Alice, who I miss every day, and we're carrying on with it. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because it'll get emotional, but Gemma and I now run the FOMO book club, and we've got a new list of books coming out, and we did a live very recently for it, and I love that. I love the FOMO book club so much. I've run my own readathon, my picture book readathon that I run with the amazing Shelley Swearingen. I run that every year, and I get to promote picture books for adults to read, and I'm going to carry on doing that as long as I can. As long as I have a channel, I will be doing that. I love Picture This. It's just wonderful, and it gives me a chance to indulge one of my passions, and with a friend of mine who is absolutely as passionate about picture books as I am. So I love that. The prompt revolution is, there's a couple of things. I want to talk about how I've evolved as a person because of Booktube. I am far more forgiving of myself for things. I used to literally hate my voice and the way I looked when I talk and the way I present myself, and I used to absolutely, sometimes you get filmed or recorded for something, and I'm a teacher, so I've been filmed teaching before. Absolutely hate the way I sound, the way I look, or that I did. I don't anymore. And being on here has changed that for me. Solely being on Booktube has changed that for me. And then because of that, it's made me far more confident than I ever was. As a teacher, I always had a teacher persona that I would put on, and that was fine. I could do that. I could put on my teacher persona and teach a class or talk to a group of teachers. I was a deputy head. I was a consultant for a long time as part of one of my roles that I did, and I used to go into schools and deliver training, and I always did it, but I was confident in the content. But if you give me something to talk about in public that I wasn't confident about, I could never have done it. I would crumble. But now I'm fine. I did the best person speech at my brother's wedding. I was his best person, not his best man. He didn't have a man, he had me. And I did that, and that was fine. And I was a little bit nervous, but I was fine. That sort of public speaking, I'd feel far more confident in now. But just the fact that I kind of like myself a bit more now, because of this, that's been a massive life-changing thing, because I've never really liked anything about the way I sound or look. So yeah, that's been a good thing. Video editing skills I love gaining new skills, and I really enjoy editing. Going forward, in terms of my channel and the things I'd love to do, I'd love to do more vlogs. I don't do nearly enough vlogging. I love vlogging, but I don't want my life to be constantly recorded. When you vlog, you spend a lot of time recording everything you're doing, and I want to do that for short periods of time to produce a vlog. I don't want to do it for my entire life. So going forward, I'd like to do more vlogging, but within reason. And I would also like to produce beautiful vlogs. I am a huge fan of certain lifestyle vlogs, like, I love writers' vlogs. Love writers' vlogs, and there's some beautiful ones out there they're filtered beautifully, they're shot beautifully, they've got lovely music, they're very calming. I love artists' vlogs as well. I'd like to do something like that. I just need to up my editing game and my production game a little bit, and yeah, something I aim to do in the future. I really would like to do that. In terms of my bonus prompt is, what advice would I give fledgling YouTuber, booktuber, whatever. My biggest bit of advice is, if it's not fun, don't do it. Don't do it if it's not fun. Don't stress yourself out. And a big part of that is being reflective. You have to be reflective. So for me, this process this week, thinking about my channel and how it's evolved and how I've evolved, has been great because it's made me stop and think. And every now and again, I'll just stop and think, what is niggling at me? There's something preventing me from making videos, because something will be stressing you out. If you feel these kind of emotions where you're like, I don't really want to do that, then you need to stop and question why. You need to think about it, and you need to continually reflect and think about if it's working for you, and if it's still fun, and if it's still giving you joy and pleasure. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who want to do it for a job, so I get that. So the stress comes with that. But yeah, if you're doing it for a hobby, and let's face it, the majority of people, it's only ever going to be a hobby, then if it's not fun, if something's not fun, think about why and stop the parts of it that are not fun. And then maybe you'll do them again down the line, who knows. But until then, I'm going to tag a load of people. I'm going to tag people who, I'm just going to tag everybody that I love and people that are in my kind of cohort. And then hopefully this will get out there, because I'd love to hear about your journeys. If you'd like me to do a reaction to one of my earlier videos, I'm happy to do that, because yeah, why not cringe at yourself live on YouTube? Well, not live, but you know, why not put that out there, that shame and that embarrassment? Can I just say to everybody who has supported me over the 4 years, and to all of my wonderful subscribers and the people who comment regularly, even if you watch regularly but don't comment, it all means everything to me, because I love reading and I love books so much, and I love having a space to talk about that and to connect with people. And as I've said in one of my earlier videos, if one person finds a book that they love and it brings them to reading, especially if it's for a child, then just that one person, then that is my aim, like my goal in life, to complete, like that's it, complete. So yeah, thank you everybody for all the time you spent with me. If you've never been here before and you fancy subscribing and sticking around, that would be nice too. Though obviously subscribe and watch, because as I've said, subscribing and then not watching, apparently is detrimental. Who knew? I don't know. If I can find that information, I'll pop it in the description box. If you fancy leaving me an emoji because you don't know what to say, maybe leave me a birthday cake emoji, and then hopefully I will see you again here soon. Bye. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. I'm Jack, and this is my Booktuber newbie video. I started the channel way back in September, so it's not quite a newbie channel, but new enough. It's less than a year old, and I thought I'd do this video just to introduce myself and talk a bit about me and why I started the channel. So here we go. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. This is my very first reading vlog. Haven't got my mic plugged in, but I thought I'd show you this ridiculous thing in my hair, because I've just done some filming that I also had to do for something that's coming up on Booktube. It's not on my channel, it's on someone else's, and it's hilariously funny. Build a replica of Pemberley out of books. Doorway. Poor old book. Such a lovely book. That's nice. I think that's very good. Some chimneys. I think I'm done this 1 minute. Pemberley. I need like a substitute mouse head. Ah! That's alright. The alarm's not gone off yet. Oh, there's my alarm. And there's my mousey bonnet. Hello Booktube. My name's Jack, and I've got a book problem. First things first. Let's get those books out. Oh my god. So if you have seen Alice in the Giant Bookshelf, her channel, she has 200 physical books she hasn't read on her TBR. I was hoping not to hit triple figures, but I have. I've got 108, so that's not too bad. I feel, thank you Alice for making me feel better about my physical TBR. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. Today I'm very excited because I'm doing my first ever Victober TBR video. Plus I have a special announcement. And no, it's not just about the fact that I finally cut all of my lockdown hair off. I feel so much lighter. Bye! And I think that was done in one take. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. I'm excited and delighted to be announcing my very first readathon, Picture This 2022. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. My name is Jack, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. And today I'm unbelievably delighted to be doing a celebration of 2 years on Booktube and my 1,000 subscriber Q&A. So the first question I've got here is from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, so from Scott. It says, Jack, you seem so nice and kind. Who do you hate and wish harm upon? That's the first part of the question. Let me just answer that. I've got a big book of hate somewhere that no one will ever see. It will never see the light of day. No, you're joking. Do you ever get that feeling that you're missing out? Hello, welcome to Book Joy. Today I am delighted to announce the FOMO Book Club. The FOMO Book Club is going to be run by myself, Alice from Alice and Joan Bookshelf, and Gemma from Gem of Books. Lovely people. If you don't already subscribe to them, and I expect quite a lot of you do because we've got quite a lot of the same subscribers, go and do so now. They're amazing, brilliant people, and I love chatting books with them. Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. Welcome to our new location. I'm not going to film out here very often because I don't like filming outside, but there's no neighbours at the moment, though we will be getting some next door neighbours very soon. But this is our view from our balcony. And for the purposes of the video, here is the before picture and that's me. So I think that's all the questions. I hope I've answered some. I hope I've not come across as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about or is waffling too much. And I hope you've got to know a little bit more about me, the person behind this channel. And I'd like to hear a bit about you. If you do watch my videos, please make a comment below. I'd like to get to know you. If you're someone that subscribes to my channel and you watch my videos and you find them useful, or if you've got any questions, please pop it in the comments below. I'd love to connect and meet you. So hopefully, if you like this video, if you didn't think it was a complete mess, then you can click like and subscribe and comment if possible, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!